songs you hear on the rock and roll radio. And when a young girl doesn't have any friends, that's a really nice place to go. Folks hoping you'd turn out.
Hi everyone, it's CricketSong with Lunar Wisdom, and today's topic is going to be mediumship. I recently had a conversation with Ballerina Boy about spirit work, mediumship, the altar of the dead, and that whole topic. So he hasn't been the first one that has brought up this topic of mediumship with me. When I was at the psychic fair, not last weekend, but the weekend before, the woman sitting next to me, and her and I had a conversation about mediumship and our personal experiences. And it also came up in another conversation I had via email with someone from YouTube about mediumship. So I figured I would take this opportunity and share with you my understanding or personal experience, and when I realized there was a name for what I did, or what I could do, or what I had been doing years and years. I guess we can start back when I was young, when I was a child. And my mom used to say that I played well by myself, that I would set up my tea set and have tea parties with my imaginary friends. And I remember having conversations with my friends who sat at the table with me, and blown out conversations, just talking to them. And for me, I remember getting responses, even if my mother said they were imaginary friends and there wasn't anybody sitting there. For me, there was someone sitting there. So I also remember playing in the backyard under the weeping willow tree and having conversations with my imaginary friends there as well. Now, I think, if I remember, one of my friends' name was Susie or Sue or Susan, but I think it was Susie, but I'm not sure. But I remember vividly the conversations I had, and that they responded to me. So then we can flash forward to when I was in junior high and high school, when I was old enough to be able to stay home if I was sick. And I remember around the time of the death of my mother's mother, my meme, pretending to be sick so I could stay home from school. And when I stayed home from school, I would sit in our living room and have conversations with my meme. Now, I never shared any of this with anyone at the time because I didn't want them thinking I was crazy, because there were moments when I thought I was crazy. But I also knew in the back of my mind or in my heart that I wasn't, and that I was able to talk to these people, and it didn't matter how or why. It's just something that I could do and I would do. Now, I did notice that for me, which I understand more now, that in order to be able to have these conversations, especially when I was older, when I was like in the junior high or high school, that it was easier for me to connect when I turned on music and turned it rather loud. And I understand now that it was just a way for me to be able to get into the trance state in order for me to receive these messages. It was the vibration of the music that really helped raise my vibration, so that then I could align myself with these energies and be able to have these conversations and have them appear to me. which brings me to the point that just recently, it's almost as if these jigsaw pieces are falling into place and I'm getting, oh, I get it. That's why this does this and this works this way for me. There is a song by Helen Reddy, who's an Australian singer, called Angie, or Angie Baby. And it talks, the lyrics of this song talks about this girl who people think are crazy, but who at night, when no one's around, turns on her radio and dances with these lovers. And in this story, this song, you find out that she actually has trapped or captured the energies or the spirits of these men or boys, and they're trapped in her radio. And they appear to her when she turns the radio on, and when they appear, and then she can see and speak with them. But people think she's crazy. She's special. And I remember, actually, I had started a couple of years ago writing a story, the story of this girl, Angie. And it wasn't until a few months ago that it dawned on me that the reason, even way back when I was in junior high or high school, I liked that song so much is because I could relate that, yes, I understand tuning into the vibrational frequencies of music in order to raise your own personal vibration, in order to get into a trance state, in order to make contact with those of the spirit realm or on another vibrational frequency. For me now, it's binaural beats, or I'll put a link to the things that I listen to now that really help me get into that trance. Right now, for me, it can't be things with lyrical, and it has that specific high point, center point, hollow sync meditations are things that really work well with me and get me very easy into that trance state. That's how I get into the state in order to receive messages. So, but I can trace it back to when I was in high school and able to do this, but I didn't know what it was I was doing. Again, it was just something that I naturally did, and I enjoyed it. I wanted to be able to be in that sort of state all the time, which I understand now is not a healthy desire, you know, to want to always be in that state, to always and not interact with people on the physical realm. So for a while after that, and after I graduated high school, I left all that behind. I just immersed myself in college, and then got married, and then sort of was still searching spiritually because I had shut all that off for so long. And it wasn't until my last divorce to my children's biological father that then I started again getting into my practice and reopening those doors and being able to work divination and get into the meditative states and trance states purposefully. And so now I've gotten to the point where the gates are open, or the veil is parted, and I'm able to very easily go back and forth. And I guess, you know, Corey was asking for specifics. How do you sort of tune in, and how do you develop this relationship? How do you work it so it's stronger? And my biggest suggestion for anyone is to meditate. You know, meditate frequently and know yourself and know what your boundaries are and understand yourself, and then being able to specifically tune into the other realms, you know, as you meditate. Meditation, I know many people say it, but it truly is the basis of your work, of being able to tune into energies that are not all dense and of the physical. Being able to being able to discriminate between what is the dense physical vibrations and what is emotions of those living, as well as what is the feelings of those who are deceased. You know, being able to identify them and understand what they are so that you can align yourself with them and then get whatever information you want. It's just like working with the Akashic records. It's tuning into those vibrational frequencies. Anyone can do it. Anyone can do mediumship. Everyone has the ability to be a medium. It's just, do you want this? Is this what you feel you want to do? So, I mean, if you have specific questions or for me that I haven't answered, feel free to leave the comments in here in the video, or send me a private message here or on Facebook. You can find me on Facebook. But I guess that's all I have to share. Hopefully I've answered questions in regards to mediumship. And I think it's Raven Night Song has some videos that she's been putting up on trances and channeling. So check her videos out too. And as always, guys, I love you.
To fade away when your daddy taps on the door. Angie girl, are you all